All right, so we're live with Daria Chuprys today on a beautiful Saturday. So what's up, Daria? How you doing?
Hi everyone. We are finally doing this. We've been talking for a long time, and I'm glad we're doing. Last week we had to postpone through the everything happening,
Hmm.
and now we're together. Nice.
Yeah, so this has been a highly anticipated video. Like you said, we postponed it, but now we're here. So let's jump into it. So for those watching, just tell everyone a brief little background about how you became an artist and a trainer, and just kind of give people a brief background.
So I'm originally from Belarus. It's like in Russia, and I moved to Greece when I was 18 years old. And I was in Greece for a while before I met my husband. And after I met my husband, he didn't want me to work for anyone.
Hmm.
So he was saying, "You need to find to do something on your own." So I was looking in different options and like crazy, like even like security doors and like nothing to compare to the beauty
Yeah.
industry. And then on my trip to Belarus, my girlfriends, they were wearing lash extensions, and I was like, "What's that?" And I got so like excited and like because I was searching for a business for me, so I saw like an opportunity there, and it was like brand new. It was something like really new in the market. So I told to my husband, he's like, "I have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds crazy and I like it." So I look into becoming a distributor and trainer for lash extensions, and that's how it's all started with me in the beauty industry. I went to Europe in Riga in Latvia. I became their distributor. We start to go to different shows, and then once you're in the beauty industry in the shows, you're looking how to expand, what new products to bring. So I went to makeup school, and after makeup school, I was searching for permanent makeup. And then while we were traveling in Italy, we saw in a big beauty fair, Cosmoprof, they had a booth and they were doing microblading live there. And I was doing, obviously, I did my research. I knew what's in the market about permanent makeup. And back then, the only way they were doing hair strokes, it was like with 3 round needle, and the hair stroke were way too thick. So
Okay.
they were not looking as natural as microblading.
Hmm.
So I got really hooked up and I contacted the company. I actually was trained in Poland, so I went there, I got trained there, I went back again to become like their trainer, also their distributor. And it's been over 10 years now.
Wow.
So I've been doing permanent makeup for over 10 years. Yes. And we moved 6 years ago. We moved in United States, and we opened the first microblading academy in the United States
Wow.
because like microblading was so new to United States,
Hmm.
and nobody was teaching. There were few people were doing that, and so we started teaching. It was quite easy for me to market back then because I didn't had so much competition. So like it's nice. I want to share, like how it was before and how it is now. So, like people understand also that's it's different, like when I was from the first people, it was much easier for me to market. I didn't have to do
Yeah.
anything.
Less competition. That
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about permanent makeup is, or like the industry in general, is it seems like it kind of you don't really go after permanent makeup. It finds you in some way for a lot of people. Like I love hearing stories of how people started and just meeting people all over the world because it's one of those industries where I think we are kind of like a tight knit community compared to most industries. So that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about like your academy and what sets your academy apart from others and a little bit about that.
So we are located in Beverly Hills. We have nice academy with nice environment. I like crystals. I'm all about positive vibes and energy. So we always create nice environment for our students, and everybody like becomes so like connected and so friendly by the end of the week. When we have our beginners classes, they were like long week, the 7 days beginners. Now we're changing the structure due to the coronavirus and everything. We recorded a lot of online content, so like we're gonna do less days in private, but still the material and everything education will be still on the high level. I think what set us apart is the fact that we care about the quality of the education. We are quite against of these 2 days fast food trainings. And like our beginners course was 7 days, so like there is like definitely a lot of quality information, and we take and guide our students from step to step, preparing them, and doing life models together, and like there to support them. And also the lifetime support, I think it's very important, because when I start doing permanent makeup, due to the English barrier, like we had to translate, and like I was losing a lot of information. So like I personally didn't have the support that I offered to my students. And I had to take so many classes, to visit so many conferences just to had all these questions answered. And like from my experience of like 10 years and coming also from Russia and from Europe, like I was attending all the classes and was learning from Russian, which in my opinion, Russians are like the leading in permanent makeup in general. Artists, I really respected their work, and I admire their, talents. So coming from this background and putting together an American standards, which is different also, like I can say that the standards in Europe and Russia is different than in the United States. So like also I went to school here just to see like how it's set up, how the people are working. I went to like a good academy in Florida. And bringing it together, I think that's what's setting me apart also, like bringing two and even three words, Russia, Europe, and America together.
So,
and of course, like as a Russian speaking, I'm following the trends and like in Russia and what's happening, like, so I'm always like trying to be on top of things, new techniques, new ways of doing.
So do you see any new techniques developing right now in those countries that are not in the United States yet?
Nothing like really new. Everything is striving more to natural and softer results. In the past couple of years, like we've seen huge difference in general. Everything is more natural, everything is more softer, and that's how I also made my name and my clients are coming to me for more natural and for more safe and like results. For me, doing permanent makeup, it's not important only how it's look right after or even after 1 month when it's healed. For me, it's important because I've been doing it for 10 years. I've been seeing it from a good way and from a bad way, like I learned many different, and I work with many different pigments and I tried different ways and everything. So I've seen also like how it's turning after years, and the best, in my opinion, is the most soft and more natural results because they age nicely, they age gracefully, and you can work on top. When you oversaturate the skin and the results are too packed, the colors are too dark and everything, there is no much room there to work after years, so just I'm the more natural supporter.
So you mentioned coronavirus earlier. What would you say to those artists, or I guess this is kind of like a double part question. So what would you say to the artists who are looking for more advanced training? Is it worth putting more money into this career path? And then for those new potential people that are like, okay, I've been wanting to be a permanent makeup artist, but with this coronavirus stuff, I see all these safety measures. Is it a career that they don't want to choose or they do want to choose? Like, what are your viewpoints on the industry right now and where it's headed?
So look, in general, during the coronavirus, I personally been taking a lot of online trainings and I've been really enjoying this. And
Hmm.
of course, we had our online classes even before the coronavirus. We just launched the fundamentals, which we should even before the coronavirus, just to accommodate even better because 7 days it's very intense class and it was a little bit difficult for people to attend, so
Right.
we did some parts online, so it's going to be less days but still hands-on and practice will be like the same. So in general with coronavirus, I think a lot of us seen a lot of benefits on learning online. So I think definitely you can do some parts of training online. Of course, for those who are completely beginners, they do need absolutely to do hands-on. You
Hmm.
cannot just go and watch training and not to do like with
Right.
someone to check on you. So I've never been a supporter of online for beginners. For me, beginners need hands-on training. They need someone to guide them and see if they're doing it right and practice and everything. And we got the green light. We can finally open in
Nice.
California. Yeah, we can
Congrats.
open 19th. Yeah. It's been 3 months. It's crazy.
Sorry, my dog wanted to sit with me.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, so you can open now. That's super exciting because I know it was a nice break in one way, but then also having your income chopped off is horrible. So I'm
I've
happy
been
for you.
enjoying the first 2 months of
Yeah.
coronavirus. The third month wasn't pretty, and with everything happening, like on the planet and like in the United States, especially, like it's been really intense.
Yeah, I bet.
So finally,
Yeah. All right. So since this is a marketing group, I would like to discuss kind of like your marketing stuff for you or that you do. I guess starting off, what are some of the top tips you would give like any artist or maybe other trainer about marketing?
so as I told when I first moved here in the United States, because the microblading was so natural compared to other people who were doing permanent makeup, and it was easy to market. I just
Hmm.
needed to post pictures and people were like, wow, what's that? Now we have a lot of competition, so it's not like really easy to gain new following, and stuff like this. So I didn't know marketing, I didn't learn marketing, and I was just like rolling, and I had like oversold classes,
Hmm.
and like it was just going by itself because we were first.
Yeah.
It's different when you're first. Now nobody care if I was first or
Yeah.
not. They look, they do their research, whoever is closer, whoever is cheaper, whoever is more convenient, so now you really need to invest in marketing. You need to invest and money and energy in marketing. And the best advice is to do everyone has to have basics of marketing,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
you are selling your work and you need to know how to sell it, even the way how you work, how you talk to
Yep.
the audience, what content you put. Like I didn't knew these basics, and then when I was studying it, I was like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Hmm.
And like I was doing it wrong because I was making it more about myself, like,
Right.
look, I'm so good, like we're the first, we're the best, we're blah blah blah, but I wasn't really focusing on their problems, how I can help them in life, how I can solve their problems, so something really nice that I can share. First of all, it's like start with this
Oh,
book,
I was
and
actually
I
thinking
know
about that book. Yeah.
yeah, you told you were reading it.
Yeah. That's a good
I
book.
just came like during the quarantine, so it was perfect timing. And it's not enough just to read a book. It's you need to implement it. You need to like you see, I have like all notes, and I'm like making everywhere like highlights. And we actually during the quarantine, which was good, we sit with my office manager. She's really good with writing. She finished some degree with writing, I don't know. So I had her to read the book, and we were working together on like creating the sales funnel,
Right.
like to update, like our websites, to create like email campaigns, and to set up, the funnel. So it
Yep.
was nice. So what is, in general, this is Marketing Made Simple by Donald Miller.
Yep.
It's amazing school. It's amazing basic education. Who I believe everyone needs to know, because it tell you, okay, how to set up your website, your funnel, how to importance of email, and how to also prepare step by step your client to commit and become your potential client. Yeah, but also it speak to you how you should talk to your audience, which is also important. I also wrote the first book, The Story Branding,
Yeah.
also by the same author. But I think if you just get this one, because it's kind of like repeating material, it's more newer.
Yeah.
So just
sorry to interrupt
helping
you.
Yeah, what do you want to say?
I was gonna say let's you mentioned a good topic there about how you communicate with your audience and stuff. What are some of the biggest takeaways you've gotten, either just from your experience or that book, or both, about the different ways to communicate with your audience?
So in order to connect to your audience, you need to be similar to them. They need to see something like, or you can solve their problem, or you share the same, like story, or somehow you can get connected. That's how you first like can engage with your potential clients. So in order to get connected, you need to speak about problems, like wherever problems, like you see. So when they hear that their problems, and then you can talk about the solution that you can bring to the problem that they're facing. This way you can connect better with your clients' potential. They don't care about how good you are and what awards you have, and like how good a speaker you are and where you were presenting. They want to hear how you can solve their problem. So this is like the big things. And then also, like, in general, I wasn't ever in my websites, never talking about problems that my clients are facing. The frustration of drawing your eyebrows every day, the waste of time that they're facing. So I wasn't talking about that on my website.
Right.
So now we also like implement that in our marketing, and the way how, like it's just like, it was such a good, like mind opening for me. And then like also I'm diving even more in the marketing.
Yeah, I mean, that one piece of advice right there could change a lot of people's businesses, because like you said, it's so easy to get caught as business owners. We're kind of impressed with ourselves. We have all these skills that we work hard and we want to share our skills, but too often we make it about us instead of who the people we're trying to help.
I was doing the same.
Yep.
I was doing absolutely the same. Like I was just talking about how good we are. Like, yes, we're good. Yeah, but how can you actually help your client? Like they want to hear how you can solve their problem.
Yeah, and that goes into selling too, because when you're trying to sell your services, like especially on like phone calls and stuff, like I used to be a total rookie, and so I would sit there and be like, oh yeah, I know how to do this and this and this. But now I've learned, like, if you want to sell someone, then just figure out how you can help them, and the best way you can do that is by asking questions. And so instead of just blabbing about yourself, just ask them questions about what they're looking for, like for the brows, what style they're looking for, what look they like.
Yes, absolutely. So for anyone listening, if you want to be successful, you need to know the basics of the marketing, because the way, even how you're approaching the videos. Like now I have like before I go like anywhere, like doing some recording or video, I want to bring some message. I have like a schedule, like problem, solution, and result, like, so. And then I like automatically make like what I'm gonna speak in the first part, what in the middle, and what at the end. So it's actually making easier even for you, because sometimes you don't know what to talk on the video. And then you're like, okay, the problem is this, my clients are facing there. And something important that I want to share is that you need to identify your ideal client. First of all, before you move into anywhere further, you need to find your ideal client. Who is who are you like focusing on?
Yep.
Is it women? Obviously, we're probably working more with women, like what age group, because you're going to market completely different for younger generations, and platforms that you're going to use, it's going to be different. And if you're going for more mature clients, you're going to market differently. The platforms that you're going to use, the language that you use, the techniques that you're gonna promote, like you cannot promote the Sharpie, like eyebrows, like this, like style, the ombre now that are very popular in younger generation. They're not suitable for older clients. And like in general, where is your location? Where are you located? So you need to like kind of sit down and like find your ideal client, what age, what race, what hobbies they have, like if they have kids, if they don't have kids. So you can also think where you can market. If you can market to somewhere groups with kids, like with mommies, where you want to, like, don't just go for anyone.
Right.
Like you need to specify where you want to and what is the group. And I believe, like, probably, I don't know if you've seen it, but the more we're about this age, like in our age, we're looking for more like similar clients. So like my ideal clients are more like mid age, like people who like natural result, like as I do, like, so we're kind of like mirroring our clients. I don't know if you've seen that in general.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
like I'm going, my ideal client is more like person like me, like who has like some kids, like they like natural result, they go to the gym, like, so like you can market in a different way if you know your ideal client.
Yeah, and I think a great exercise, I don't know if I got it from that book or somewhere else, but a great exercise to do is to, besides all the things you just mentioned, is to actually write down that person's pain points. So like their fears, what their problems
frustrations, yeah. And then what they want. Like I have like my notes too. Like,
nice.
So like what they fear and what their frustrations, and then what they want and what they desire. So you can speak in their language. So like, for example, young girl, what she cares, she just want more defined eyebrows, like more I don't know, like more makeup look. All person can have different frustrations. She may not see well to draw them. So like if you're going for older, client, more elderly client, you can like pinpoint the problems, like, oh, like have hard time seeing to draw your eyebrows, like save time every morning. Like this is classic, but in general, again, it's important to see what frustration and fears they have.
Yep, exactly. Because like I think a big marketing mistake most people make is they have their service like microblading, and they're like, okay, I want to find people who want microblading. Well, there might not be that many people who right now are saying I want microblading, because they probably already have it done if they wanted it. And so what you got to do is find those pain points and say like, okay, where are the people that want to save time? Where are the people that want to look better? And then you market to those people instead of just finding people who want microblading.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So as far as
so yes,
go ahead.
No, I just wanted to share about this ideal client, to like really see it in picture, like even if they're married, if they have kids, like, and this way it will help you where you can market and how you can market. Like, for example, if the person, and we had this like, also like we wanted to market more to the gyms and people who like to, so we were approaching some influencers who are, like in more like gym community, I don't know how to say it. And we were trying to market it more toward there, it's, like you need to know where you're going.
Yep, exactly. So let's translate that into advertisements. So let's say you're writing an ad and you are setting up your targeting, and you target people that are I don't know, let's say under 45 years old, and you're going for like the people who are either wanting to look better or save time, the way you write that ad is going to be totally different than maybe for an older generation who just wants to have the
Yes.
convenience and stuff. So always think about like you're saying your target audience when you're writing either post or ads, because I mean honestly, like this goes for everything you do, like your Instagram stories, like this all. Once you understand the psychology, it'll make everything better.
Yes, that's why, you need to know some basics. It's this is amazing book. This is like something that really can help. And then of course there are like more. I'm taking some like online digital marketer. I don't remember. I'm very bad with the names.
Yeah,
So I'm taking their online structure,
yeah,
membership.
yeah. I mean, that's one thing that I'm really proud of for my service is instead of me just handling the ads like most marketers do, I really want my clients to understand like the basics like you're talking about, and even some advanced strategies, because it's one thing to hire someone to do certain aspects of marketing, like hiring me to do ads or something. But if you don't understand all these like terms we're talking about, or the marketing psychology, the basics, it's not going to be doing a service to them. Like it's not going to be as effective. And so I really want all my clients to be able to know all these things, and I sit there and I teach them, and we have group coaching calls. And so I 100%
No,
agree.
you've been really genuine with like sharing information. Remember, you spoke with Tori, you shared like with her also some tips how to like talk with customers, to set up, the first email, the second email, what to talk with them, how to highlight. So it's very great, like your tips are very valuable. And I think, like that's the way how you need to do, because it doesn't matter if you're doing successfully the ads, if we don't know
Right.
how to transform these ads into the clients,
Exactly.
it's a waste of time, of your time, and our
Yep.
money, like,
Exactly.
so I think if you educate your client, and we are making more successful, layout of the website, better like email campaigns, and like better communication with the clients, it's like also more successful for you.
Exactly. So yeah, like you mentioned, you do different types of advertising. What are some of your favorite ways to advertise your service, whether it's digital or in person? Can you kind of give some education on that?
Well, Instagram is my stronger marketing field, and I'm not really good with Facebook. I know there is still a lot of like potential in Facebook, and a lot of people are using Facebook, and we run ads with Facebook, and we're really seeing really good results. But I don't know. My platform is Instagram, so I've been focusing a lot there.
Yep.
And something that I want to share, and I think it's actually really going to be really successful for permanent makeup, it's TikTok.
Yeah.
I've been playing with it, but I've been playing with TikTok for my new company for skincare tools, because to be honest, I've been focusing a lot on the dark case. I can talk about it later.
Okay.
So I haven't been playing with permanent makeup with TikTok, but I can see a lot of potential there. And also my friend Vanessa, she has her waxing product. So she started to do TikTok just right before quarantine, like 3 months ago. And now she has like 400,000 subscribers, and she has like some like of her videos like 6.5 millions, like just doing waxing and like showing the wax and like doing things like. But she's very committed, like she's doing for all these months. She's doing every day like 2 posts, and like she'd even share with me tips how to make it more interactive. Like people in general like more fast now happening. The videos that we're making, they should not be like very boring and
Right.
very slow. They need to be like fast and change a little bit the scenes and everything. So TikTok is like very interesting, and she's like selling her wax more than ever. She created like home care kits. So like like we should never put down our hands if something like situations happen like this.
Yeah.
You can still benefit from them. Like some people got like some bloggers got out of quarantine, like some people start like to do TikTok, like even for permanent makeup. I'm pretty sure we all still have a lot of videos and a lot of pictures and content in our, in our phone from previous, even if we didn't do the procedures like all these months. But like you could definitely use it and you could grow your TikTok, and it's very trendy now.
Yeah, I love TikTok, but be careful because you can waste a lot of time on there if you're consuming other people's content instead of making your own. But
I'm not a consumer. I'm not staying on the very rarely. Like I'll spend one day, like a little bit scrolling, but overall, I'm not like spending too much time on my social.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, TikTok is awesome. It's something that you can get a lot of. I'm kind of jealous of you guys because with me, I don't think my TikTok audience would be big enough.
Yeah.
But with you guys, you have a lot of potential for
For
TikTok.
permanent, I think I'm gonna, when we're now going back to work, I'm gonna start working on TikTok for permanent makeup too, because I'm pretty sure people will like these close-ups and zoom and like before and after, and like just to make it more interactive, make it more, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be really successful.
And like a lot of times people ask me what my favorite platform is. I don't really have a favorite platform. I just go where the attention is. And so that's why I love to teach, like you've been talking about, the basics of marketing and like marketing 101. That way, whatever platform comes up over the next 10 years, you can be ready for it. I mean, yes, you're going to tweak your content a little bit. You're not going to put long form videos or just a picture on TikTok, but overall, the psychology is still the same.
Yeah, for sure. And, again, it's, where is your ideal client? Because for sure the mature clients won't be on TikTok. So like maybe it is a waste of time for you to try to market there, so like you need to identify. For example, my ideal client is on TikTok now. So for me, I think it's going to be really beneficial.
Yep. And I
to
mean,
work with TikTok.
Another platform that a lot of people never use that's super powerful is YouTube. I think people get intimidated because they think they need fancy videos and long videos, but you really don't. Like you were saying earlier, a lot of people like shorter videos too. But I kind of have
especially YouTube is more for educational videos.
Yeah.
So like to really talk and educate your potential clients on aftercare or like what is permanent makeup, what kind of inks do you use, like just to go there and educate. Like people who are going to YouTube, they go for education.
Yep. And for those of you guys watching, if you have any questions for me or Daria, or want us to clarify anything we're saying right now, go ahead and start leaving the comments below because I can see them over here, and we'll start getting into questions here soon.
Okay. So what else? I mean, I do have like more stuff I can share if you want.
Sure.
So in general, besides the marketing, I think networking is also something that is very important.
Yeah.
With this 3 months staying at home, like I think we're all craving of like a little bit social events and networking. But I've been underestimating the power of the networking, and being in Los Angeles in general, I'm seeing that it's very, very important to know people and who knows you. It's not actually important who you know, it's who knows you,
Yeah.
So the more exposure is the key in general for marketing, for any business, like the more ways you're finding to get exposed, the more people see you, the more chances that they will come to you, right? Because if you're just sitting at home and not doing anything, like nobody will learn you. So like the more ways you can get exposed, the more platforms, therefore, the platforms that we're using, the more videos, the more lives you're doing, the better, because it's helping you to get exposed. And then also the networking events. Again, you need to identify, knowing your potential client, you can go to specific events. And I can share some tips about networking that like I've been learning like before the quarantine, I've been like really going to different events. We have like Beverly Hills Chamber of Commerce. We sign up there. We were going there for different events, and then different like girly, like meeting branches and stuff like this. So people just like go there they're all going there with a goal to network and meet people.
Yep.
But what I was getting wrong in the beginning when I first started doing network, I was going there and I was trying to push my business and my services and I was feeling frustrated and disappointed if the clients were not responding, and if I didn't find someone to become my potential clients, I was feeling like it wasn't like successful, the event. But the importance is to build a relationship when you're going to networking, even if the person who you meet may not be your client, but she knows you. You build really good rapport, you build really good communication, and then this person will go and talk about you with her friends, and maybe someone who will be looking into doing permanent, she will say, oh, I know Daria, she's like really good, she's in Beverly Hills, blah blah blah. So even if she is not interested, she can advertise you. So like when you're going to any network event, it's important to go and to build genuine relationship, and this way you can make friends, and even she never become your client, you can build great friendships, and you never know where this friendship can lead you, and you may benefit much more deeper from just being your client, from it. So like it's important to look into different like networking tips when you're going somewhere, how to build rapport with the person, like there is like the whole science, of building rapport, like mirroring and matching, like in order to connect with your audience, in order to connect with the person, like a networking event, like they need to see some similarity, people like to connect with people who are likewise, or they like to connect with people who they want to be, so who like they are admiring, so you can like really try to stay connected. You need to be present when you're doing network, and try to mirror, like how she's behaving. You're not gonna create rapport if the person is cold, staying like this, and you're gonna go close and like hug and like because person is like different, like so you need to a little bit absorb and understand what is the personality of the person. Like if she like contact, like some people like to hug, some people like to more warm environment, some people like their distance. So you need to mirror this to build this rapport, so you kind of like on the same page.
Exactly.
This is first. And then in general, be genuine, give. Don't be like, just like, oh, you need to book my appointments. Don't even share a business card. Don't even talk about your business until they ask you, then you can talk a little bit, but don't be pushy. You don't want to like right away. And very important also, sometimes, like we go to a network event, we meet someone which is nice person, like that you feel like you could have like genuine relationship, you could have friendship, and then we don't follow up. Like what's the point of going even to the event? So you need to follow up after, like send email, follow them on social media, like their like comment on their posts and everything, just like to keep this connection, like, and then next time maybe you see her again on the same event, you already know each other, so you can build even better and more closer relationship. So just look in general, even as in marketing, building a brand, it's building community, it's building a relationship with your clients. So the same in networking.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's honestly been one of my biggest struggles because I'm very introverted. Like I could sit on a computer all day and be happy. Where my wife, she likes to go out to social events and stuff. So,
Hmm.
but I mean, I will say I went to a conference last year. I met you, met a lot of great people, and it was honestly very enjoyable. Even with me being introverted, being able to like meet people and build those connections was very like fulfilling, rewarding. And now I feel like I know you better because even though we're having a video chat right now, I've met you in person already.
Yeah. Look, we need to get out of our comfort zone. It's for everyone is uncomfortable, and many times doing this kind of lives, it can be really stressful to some people and can be really uncomfortable, but we need to do it because
Yeah,
that's when you're getting rewarded. It's when you're actually doing something that is getting you out of your comfort zone.
exactly.
So, and exposure, again, exposure is so important. So the more you're exposing yourself, the more people can see you, the more chances that you can, like people know you. When people know you, there is more chances they can become your clients, right?
Right. We do have a couple questions if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, Margaret says, "What do you post when you're just starting out and only have 1 to 4 clients a week?"
I think it's also I'm seeing a lot of like because I started new brand skincare, and also I don't have any following there. It's new brand, so I'm trying to be more educational.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying
Yep.
to educate my audience. So like even if you don't have eyebrows to share, you can share some tips on aftercare. You can share some tips on in general, like how it can benefit. Talk about the problems that your clients are facing and how you can offer them a solution to their problems, like so I think the best way is to try be like educate and you position yourself as an expert in your client's eyes when you
Yep.
talk about their problems and how you can solve them and give them different tips. So I've been seeing I because now I'm looking in a lot of into skincare, and I'm also leaning into the accounts that are giving me education, that are showing me some tips. There is not so much tips we can share with permanent makeup, but we can definitely educate our audience better.
Yeah, so some cool things you can do. Even if you're quarantined, you can pull out your phone and you can do some educational, like little 1 to 2 minute clips. I've seen those work great on Instagram too. Do like a 1 minute clip on like maybe how to choose the right permanent makeup artist. I mean that might be a little bit longer than 1 minute, but maybe do something just as simple as like what's the difference between microblading or if you have another service like powder brows. And so
Ombre, yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
so those are all great ways to, like you said, just establish yourself as an expert, just show people your expertise. So even if you don't have a huge portfolio, you can still say like, "Hey, I know what I'm talking about and I'm here to help you."
Hmm. Yes.
Let's see. Elizabeth says, "I happen to live in a smaller town of only 30,000 people. I am just starting out. How do you market with not having any clients as of yet? I'm that new."
Network. Go out and try to, like even like doing it at your own home, some networking events, like bring friends and like and set up your own like networking event,
Yeah.
like I think like it's really nice, and especially when the community is smaller and the population in the city is smaller, then you can build even better your name, by doing like a lot of networking, like trying to see, like where you can collaborations are also very important that you should look into. And go to your dermatologist, go to your like hairdresser and try to exchange cards, like try to collaborate and like send to each other per people. I know it's more tough now with competition and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, like to stand out, but I if you keep pushing it, if you keep doing it, like it's gonna be tough in the beginning, but at some point, like you will see the results. Like it's any business. And I remember when I first started, the first couple of years, I had very rarely permanent makeup clients, like I didn't have anyone staying. in the line, and then you just need to build your confidence. That's what I'm teaching, for my students, is that once you feel more confident about your work, you will sell it differently.
Yeah.
When you're more confident, you can sell it with stronger, way. And of course, the portfolio matter. Make sure that you're taking really good qualities of the pictures, extra time for lighting and angles and everything, so you show your work in a good way.
Yeah, so I've worked with a lot of brand new artists. Some of them get booked up really quickly, and some of them did not. And I think the main difference, now that I think about it, the main difference is the people who are more willing to get themselves out there and just get out of their comfort zones, like you said, and just try to meet more people. Those are the ones that succeed way quicker than the ones that are scared and don't post anything and don't ever do any videos.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen it, from students that were not very talented in the class, but they had such a energy and they wanted it so badly, and they were trying and putting out and trying and pushing and pushing and pushing, and they're having more clients than some that were very talented in the group. So it's not about how good you are, it's actually how good marketer of yourself you are.
Yeah. Exactly.
And also, I think it's important to mention the consistency. It's also very important. It's not enough just to come out once and do live. You need to be consistent. Consistency is the key anywhere.
Yeah, and just like you say, consistency. Don't think that just because you do one video or you do one live video that you're going to be booked up. I've done so many live videos that had hardly any viewers, before I got to the success point. And so making sure you just stick with it, find a good strategy, and keep pushing.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
More questions?
So I don't see any questions yet. Guys, if you have questions, let us know. I know we had a few questions that people posted on the group earlier this week, so I'll try to find those in a second. But anyways, let's talk about marketing a little bit more, just because this is a marketing group. So for Instagram,
I want to hear some of your advices.
Sure. Well, I found some really good advice earlier this week that kind of explained Instagram in a way that made me I already knew it, but this is just a better way of explaining it. So for Instagram, there's multiple ways you can post. Obviously, you can post on your wall where you have your main pictures. You can do Instagram stories, and then you can also do Instagram TV now. And so one way you can use Instagram
you can do ads.
Yes.
For IGTVs. You can now run ads, right?
Yep. So that's
what
awesome.
I saw.
Yeah, so kind of a way to think about Instagram is for your main content, like your post, your normal post. Think about that as your more professional portfolio. And on a side note for that, try to think, there's a way to kind of connect with more people. So instead of just posting the same stuff every time, think about 4 different categories that you're interested in. So whether it's
I'm going to take notes.
All right. So yeah, write down 4 different things you're interested in. So if that's obviously your work would be one of those, your services, and then maybe whether it's your family maybe be important to you, maybe it's a hiking or a hobby or reading. Think about some kind of hobby maybe, and then find a 4th one. So basically, it's 4 main pillars that you're interested in or passionate about. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you a variety of content. So you want to do, I guess, mix match them. So maybe one day you post about your services and permanent makeup. Maybe the next day you have a picture on there with your family talking about what you guys like to do. Or you don't have to post your family. I'm just throwing out different ideas. And then maybe the next day you talk about how you're reading this book and maybe some books that you like to read. Now, it sounds counterintuitive because you're not always posting about your work, but what it does is it allows people to find commonalities with you, which is something we discussed earlier, is if people find things that they're more in common with you, you're going to build those relationships quicker. So maybe the person's not that interested in permanent makeup, but then when they find out that that you like to mountain bike, and then they also like to mountain bike, and then they start looking into your services, And not to get too technical with it, but you can also use like hashtags that are related and stuff, and that's how you can find more people related to that stuff. So that's the kind of the side note of how
Hmm.
you can have more variety on your content. But let's take a step back now and say, okay, that was on your wall, that was on your Instagram wall. But
Posts. Hmm.
what about your stories? Now, stories are going to be a little bit more unprofessional, quote, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying you don't want those to be like super edited or anything. It's just that's kind of the behind the scenes. So maybe what you're doing on a day to day basis, maybe a review you got, like you could screenshot your review or testimonial, how you're setting up your studio, or maybe just like your daily thoughts on what coronavirus is doing to your small business, like the kind of behind the scenes of what's going on is how you should treat stories. And then as a sub note of those stories, you can do story highlights. And so I've seen some really cool. I think you have some cool ones too, where you have like your services listed and different things on the story highlights. And those are kind of like highlight reels you can use to so that when people come to your landing page, aka your profile, they can quickly get an idea of what you do and see some of those things. And then last but not least, Instagram TV. That's going to be your longer videos that are more like educational, where you're explaining things more in depth. Maybe you're doing some networking, like Instagram lives or TV things. So that's 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 kind of a little bit more advanced than most people have got into from what I've seen. But if you can do more educational videos and put those on Instagram TV, you're going to have more depth to your business than a typical artist who just posts before and afters.
Hmm. So, what do you think in general? Because I've seen some successful accounts that they are only posting eyebrows and no like other categories, like
Yeah.
no like family, no hobbies, nothing, just like classes or services, and they have really great following. And we've seen also people who are do put their more of their lives and like some of their hobbies. What do you feel like? Is it good to combine, or is it better to keep your page more professional?
I think it's better to combine it because, especially now that there's more competition, the typical person can't tell the difference between like a average brow and a great brow. I mean, yes, there's picture quality, but we're not artists, and so we don't know your craft like you do. We don't know all the strokes and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And so, if you have similar looking pictures, then what's going to set you apart from your competition? And that's where you need to really be able to relate with your audience. Educate them, establish yourself as the expert, connect with them, and that's what's going to really set you apart over someone else who has similar content.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, yeah, for sure you need to get something there, maybe not too much of family, not too much
Right.
of the hobby, like more work, but do show yourself also that people can connect to you,
Yeah.
people can relate to you.
Yep. Exactly. I get another question that says, "Could you do the same for Facebook?" Yeah, this is I mean, Facebook owns Instagram, so they're very similar right now. You can definitely do the same for Facebook. The main difference is when people go to your Instagram, they're going to see like your story highlights. They're going to
Hmm.
see basically a lot of your content at once because of the way it looks. Like you see like 12 pictures or something. Whereas on a Facebook page, you have to scroll down to really see more posts. And so if you don't hook people in on your Facebook page quickly, then they're probably not going to see most of your posts. And so that's why, like with my clients, one of the first thing I do is teach them how to hook people in and get people to keep scrolling down their Facebook page. Let's see. Yeah, Instagram stories and Facebook stories have honestly probably been the best thing for me the past 3 months, and I've seen it with my clients too. Besides just like ads and good posts, like the stories are really awesome because the people that already follow you or maybe are thinking about your service can now not only be reminded about you every day because they see your story pop up, but now they can get a little background information on you. They can kind of see behind the scenes, and just it really helps connect with people that are kind of on the fence or thinking about your service.
Yeah. So yeah, for sure it's important. Do you have any tips for ads? Like, I mean, you're running our ads, but
Yeah.
do you want to share? Because maybe some of my following are here, like some tips on ads, or like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
This is like, you need to become your marketer, but you cannot be like everything to do with
right.
marketing. So you need people like Jake who will run your ads, but you need to provide content to Jake, because he need to take the content that you give and turn it into the ad. So like, you need to know the basics of marketing so you can talk to the audience in the proper way, where you can hook them, where you can turn them in like enlightenment and interesting about you, and then like to potentially turn them to the clients.
Yeah. So while educational content is great overall for marketing, it's not that great upfront for what I call cold traffic. So cold traffic is people who have really never heard about you, don't know anything about you, and so you don't want to just put a video of you talking to someone like that, because they don't know you, they don't really care about you, they don't care what you have to say because they have no reason to. And so you want to find ways to hook people in. And so if you're going to do a video that you're going to use for an ad, try to say something funny or make it very applicable to them within the first 5 seconds, because I like to use the goldfish rule. The average goldfish has an attention span of anywhere from 5 to 9 seconds, and that's basically what humans are now. Because not because we're stupid, just because there's so many different things that catch our attention. There's just so much going on in the world right now that a boring talking video is not going to hook our attention. And when you compare that to cute puppies or riots or like, who knows, there's so much going on right now that you got to be able to capture people's attention quickly. So for ads, I would say the best results I've seen the past couple of weeks are actually from my stock videos that I posted about on my group earlier. You can see those on pmuvideos.com. But basically what those are is just a quick little, it's got music to it, it's showing the process and stuff. And if you can make your own eventually, that's great with using your work and everything. But the reason I don't mind promoting those is because they're clearly stock footage. I don't think anybody believes that's actually your stuff. It's just a way to kind of show people like, hey, this is kind of what it looks like, and let me tell you more about it now after you've contacted me. Let's see, someone asked a question, what's important to say in story highlights? And so, I don't know, do you have any advice for story highlights? Because I know yours are pretty good.
I mean, basically, wherever you offer, the more highlights to grab their attention, what you're doing. If you're teaching, like, your classes, your services, what kind of services? Eyebrows, liner. Like, for example, I have like eyeliner, lips, eyebrows, and healed results, and you can just like highlight your best result there, so like people get fast the idea of what you're doing. Like,
Yeah.
you want people to understand, and when they're going to your website, they need to understand in 10 seconds, like 5-10 seconds, what you're actually doing. And that's what I wasn't doing also. Like on my website, I wasn't telling that we do permanent makeup. You needed to scroll down and to understand that we're doing permanent makeup. So it needs to be right away on their face what you're doing and how you can help to solve their problem. So like, I think it's in any platform, if you can use your highlights to just show them what you can how you can help them, maybe before and after lips, before and after eyebrows, and like the highlights of your best work.
Yeah. Going back to your original, or like one of the things you said earlier about the how we tend to make marketing about ourselves and not about our clients. A great way to think about it is kind of the same structure that people have been using for stories for a long time. And sorry, that's a confusing term, because when I mean stories, I'm talking about like books and movies and like actual, like having nothing to do with social media, like an actual story. So I think an example or where this started was the Iliad and the Odyssey by Homer, right? Like written hundreds and hundreds of years ago. That same framework is what a lot of or most movies are based on. So the next time you watch a movie, you'll see that there's a main character, like a hero, and too often we call ourselves the hero of our stories, but and we are the hero of our own stories, but in your marketing, you're not the hero. Your client or your customer is the hero. You are in that hero, as they go through their story, they have conflict and problems, and then in that conflict and problem, they're going to find a guide or someone to help them guide them along their journey to get through that obstacle. And that's what you are. You're not the hero, you're the guide. And so once you
Yeah.
reframe your content so that you're guiding people along their journey and they're not guiding you on your journey, it's a total game changer.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
More questions?
Let's see. Maria
And then
says,
something that I wrote for myself, like notes. I'm like going, like have my notebook, like putting different like marketing ideas. So like people don't buy products or services; they buy transformation. This is a good one. They don't care, again, they don't care what you're doing. They just want to hear how you can transform their life and make it better.
yep. And so, like we said earlier, don't sell the perfect brow. Sell how that brow is going to make them feel more confident, or how it's going to save them time in the mornings, and even go a step further and say, okay, what does that translate to? Maybe it translates to just feeling better overall about yourself and just having a better life. Maybe it translates to
Give you more
yeah.
confidence, yeah.
Maybe it translates to spending
It's
more
very
time with your
important
family.
it's very important to sit down and identify what our services offer, like what problems your clients are facing and what they're gonna do, how it will help them after their service done. It's very important to use these both languages in your marketing promotions, in your videos and your content under, like your posts and everything. So like talk about what problems they're facing and what result you're giving them.
Yeah, and we had a great question from Cheryl. She says, what are some tips on hiring an assistant? Like, so maybe someone that can help you book clients, or someone who can like answer messages, like an assistant.
I don't know. Like we've been running through many people through the time. I mean, like everyone has different experiences. I like, like a little bit younger girls, that for me it's very important to have a good connection with the person, to have good atmosphere, to have good positive vibes in the office, because you're going to be working really close together, and I don't know what tips specifically. I think you should sit down first and envision how you want this person to be.
Yeah.
That's what I did before hiring our last office manager, Tori. I like really sit down and I envision and I wrote what I want from the person and how I want her to be, and then I think it's important to be very straightforward when you find someone, what you want them to be and how you want them to work, because you're the guide of your business, you're the mechanism of the machine of your business, and if you're, or maybe better to say, who is the one who, when you have the orchestra and I'm the conductor. Is it conductor? So you're a conductor and you need to give direction to your staff. Don't assume that they know what to do and how to do it. You need to train them, and you need to have a specific plan. You need to have a specific guidance on how you want them to execute, to make it and your life and their life easier. Because people coming in your office, they may not know what you want and what you like, how they can like assume what you want. So instead of that, take extra time to train your person, people. Make sure that you explain in detail how you want it to be done, how you want them to speak with the clients, and you are the one who's gonna give the direction and plan to your people.
Yeah, set clear expectations. Make sure they know exactly what it takes to succeed, and like you said, setting up your ideal.
You need to inspire your team, like you're the conductor. You need to give them direction. You need to, unfortunately, I've been waiting for this magic moment. It didn't happen to me, but I was wanting just person to come and to do everything for me
Yeah.
without me working, like, but unfortunately I understood that I'm the power supply of the machine, like, and I need to inspire, motivate my team. I need to, educate them. We need to together to grow. Like, again, with our office manager Tori, we were working together. We were reading the book. We were having like phone meetings together and like going through things, like, so yeah, it's very important to educate your staff too.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think you're an inspiration, and I think that you're a great example for people because even though you're educating yourself on marketing, you're smart about all this stuff, you're really good at everything you do. You don't fall into the trap of the superhero syndrome where you try to do everything yourself. Like, you still have a great team. You hire me for
Oh yeah,
ads, so
absolutely, yeah.
you've built that
No, I'm not.
support around you.
I'm not even going into ads because I know that, like, I cannot. And you need years of experience to
Hmm.
become good at it, like,
Yeah,
but I can educate myself in some basics and I can help you also
yeah.
to run more successful ads, there for sure you need to, but I'm not even going into ads. I can find there are different marketing like ways you can
Yeah.
do, like email marketing, which I think you need to know, like email marketing. What
Hmm.
else? I have like the whole like chain. There is like content marketing, digital strategy, like paid traffic, which, ads and everything, like social media, search marketing, data and analysis, like, so it's all like you can definitely have people who will do for you some things, but you can expand your knowledge and you can become more aware in other things, because
Yeah.
I mean, you can have in-house marketer, but it's going to cost you a fortune.
Yeah.
And like, with our business, permanent makeup and everything, I don't think we can afford like
Hmm.
having an in-house marketer, doing for you all the nurturing and the sales campaigns for Gmail, for emails and everything. So like, you can definitely expand your knowledge and learn how to do it yourself, some things, but you do need some, like, for ads. For me, I'm not going even there. Yeah, I need person to do it for me.
Well, I mean, I will say you're great to work with because since you do educate yourself on the foundations of marketing, you ask me better questions, you have better expectations, like you understand it better, and so it allows me to we don't waste any time talking about things that that I typically have to explain to someone else. We're
Yeah.
able to really get down into business and have better results from that.
Yes, I wasn't educated before, but it's great. It's nice. Like, I like to be more wise in general in all
Yeah.
aspects of my life, and I think in marketing is like one of the things that you absolutely need to be smart.
And then, as far as I got a quick tip. So, as far as an assistant goes, one thing that I've seen work really well for a couple of my clients is hiring someone that does, and mainly this applies to just not being in your studio necessarily, but just mainly answering messages and trying to turn those into bookings, almost like a sales rep, I guess. But one thing that I've seen work really well is hiring based on commission. And so let's say they get a certain amount of money each time they make a sale, because especially when you're like running ads with me, you're going to get a lot of messages. And so being able to turn those leads into bookings is the difference between fortune or zero. And so I think commission based is a great way to start for artists who maybe can't afford a full-time assistant.
Yeah, it's a great way. And now with the coronavirus, we all learn to work from home.
Yeah.
My office manager, Tori, she's in Kansas now, like, and she will just come, like, she cannot be even now, because we're opening soon. She will come in the beginning of the month. But she can definitely run from her house. She has the cell phone number. She's answering the emails. She can like go on the Facebook messenger, because the ads are going there, like, so she's answering, she's
Hmm.
like running it from not even working in the office. We all learn how to work from home now.
Yeah. So with you having an assistant, do you still use your chatbot very much?
We haven't been using chatbot.
Yeah.
We need to sit up and set it up.
I know I've been meaning to do that with you, but yeah, that's. I mean, I knew you weren't running a chatbot. That's why I wanted
Honestly,
to get.
I've been focusing a lot on my 𝘠𝘏𝘬𝘐, the skincare tools. So
Okay.
like all my like and even my marketing like and ideas and everything I've been trying to transform there. So now like I'm gonna start like working on the permanent makeup now. Then
So,
we're back to business.
what are the tools you're working on?
I have tools for skincare. They're very luxurious, like how my aesthetics are. So they represent completely my aesthetics. They're very helpful to take care of, like to deeply exfoliate, to deeply clean your skin, and then also like we have this. Let me grab it.
Okay.
Let me grab.
Yeah, guys, and I see a lot of you are asking about what book we were talking about earlier. It's actually called Marketing Made Simple by Donald Miller. I own both the hard copy and the Audible book. So it's a really good marketing psychology foundation book.
So they're really pretty, very luxurious, very high quality.
Nice. Okay.
And then, like they have gold, 24 karat gold plated. You can use it to exfoliate. So this is not like serums and creams. They're actual tools. So you can exfoliate your skin. I have like this silicone brush. You can cleanse your skin much deeper than the hands can reach. And then I have this gua sha tool, also 24 karat gold plated. It's for like lymphatic drainage and facial massage to tighten your skin. So I've been taking care of a lot of my skin lately, and I've seen huge improvement. Trying to age gracefully.
Well, that's awesome. So that's going to be mainly targeting and for like basically anyone to use.
So yeah, it's completely also new brand. I mean, we've been doing really good already with marketing. We have good following and we're already selling quite well. But I put a lot of energy the past, like year into this. And then this is only the beginning of the line. We're working on also on the case to carry on your jewelry, your skincare, and your makeup. So this is something that we've been working for over a year now.
Awesome. Well,
And
congrats on that. It looks really cool.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Sweet.
So
Well,
I've been focusing, to be honest, a lot there, and
yeah.
all my marketing materials and like everything we've been working with Story all these past months is we've been focusing more on the 𝘠𝘏𝘬. And like TikTok also, like I have some views, like 1.5 million views on TikTok, like I've seen like really also good results using TikTok.
Yeah, and like once again, I think that I mean it is very inspiring to kind of because I've seen your Instagram stories, I've been talking to you and stuff, and I've seen that instead of just like taking a huge break, which if anyone took a break during this hard time, I wouldn't blame them, but just seeing you being able to like use this time wisely and really improve your marketing, like learning about a lot of stuff, is very admirational, I think, and so props to you for that.
Yeah, I took a little bit this month, the last month, a little bit more slowly. But
Yeah.
the first 2 months, I can say I was like, we had our mentor program. I was doing live every week with my group of sweet ladies, which we connected so deeply. We did like 9 lives and some Zoom calls. Like we discussed all different aspects of lives. I've been
Hmm.
mentoring them on like not only permanent makeup, but in general, like
Yeah.
body and health and, like dreams and goal setting. And we've been like doing exercises together. So I've been doing this for these 2 months and then like marketing, running this and taking online classes also. So it was really productive for me.
Awesome.
This month, the last month, I wasn't so like active.
Yeah, it's good to have a break every now and then. I think the economy's been so
Yeah.
good the past 5 to 10 years that it's easy to get burnt out because there's always another opportunity. There's always another shiny object that could make you more money. And so I think it is good to take a step back and take a break every now and then.
Hmm. Yeah.
Great.
So how it's going for everyone in general now? We're opening, is your state open to do permanent makeup?
Yep, I'm in Alaska and it's open. As far as my clients go, like I've honestly seen better results probably the past 2 or 3 weeks than I've seen in a long time. And I think that's due to a couple different reasons, but one of those being decreased competition. So I've explained to people before that when, like, let's say like last year when the economy was booming, well, every single business, including like, I don't know, you're competing with everybody like Coca-Cola, Apple, like just every single business is putting money into ads, which means there's higher competition. So let's say I put $100 into ads. Maybe last year it only reached 5,000 people, whereas right now it's probably reaching double that. And so for that reason, I've been getting crazy results. And I think that combined with people just ready to like get back to quote a normal life and being able to pamper themselves and feel better about themselves, I think it's going to be a great summer, a great fall, and a great rest of the year for my clients and for artists in general.
Yeah, and the cost per click was much cheaper. Yeah.
Yep. A lot of people have been on their
I don't know
computers
if
more, been on their phones more.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah.
Everyone was in the home, so like it was. It's good for me. I was marketing with skincare tools because this was actually the best time in people staying at home. They can take care of themselves, like spa at home. For permanent makeup, like we've been running a lot of online classes, which was like really good.
Hmm.
For services, that my understanding is that like yes, they see you, but they go on the website, they cannot book. Like they will kind of forget about you, but maybe like if you're continue and you're doing retargeting, right?
Yep.
Like you see who click, so you can retarget, so you can like later on again remind of yourself, they can see you again and again and again. There are more chances. So for sure, people who continue to spend money on the ads during the quarantine, I'm pretty sure they had good results. Like
Oh yeah.
I've seen also interesting fact, because we didn't stop our ads on Yelp, so we've been receiving so much more messages on Yelp than before. Like before, we will get like once like in a day,
Yeah.
like, and now we're seeing, like a lot of Yelp messages because probably people stopped spending ads money on Yelp during the
Hmm.
coronavirus.
Yep.
So for sure.
Yeah, and I think a huge mistake is to kind of take a break from your business for too long, because and I'm talking about advertising and marketing, because it's it's a bad mindset to think, okay, I want to run an ad and I want to get a direct sell, and that's the only purpose of advertising. So you should think about advertising in a little bit different way. You should think about all the things we've talked about in this video, like building connections, meeting new people, reaching new people, helping more people. If you think about advertising in that way, it's like, okay, I can reach a lot more people right now because there's less competition. And so I think that's why it's going to pay off dividends for people, and it already is, who run ads right now compared to just waiting only when like it's prime time, economy's great.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
Awesome. Well, we're about at our
Okay.
time limit. I think this has been an amazing, helpful video. I really appreciate you sharing your notes, sharing your advice. Because
I I really enjoyed it. I love sharing. I just like give me the stage. I'm gonna speak. Like I just love to share, what I know and my knowledge to pass to others.
yeah, no, I saw your speech at America the Beautiful last year, and it was great. I can tell you love helping people. I can tell you love sharing knowledge. You're a great teacher, and it was very popular. People loved it, and so thank you so much for being
Thank you.
always willing to share, and thank you for coming on my group here and sharing with my group.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for inviting.
Awesome. Well, on that note, we'll end it. If you're listening to the replay or watching the replay, feel free to come back on here and ask any questions, and I'll try to answer them myself, or maybe Daria will be answering on the comments. And so, like I say, if you are watching the replay, feel free to still comment below. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us, and we look forward
Okay.
to continue helping you. And thank you. Bye.
Bye.